Chris, how is your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you undetected.
Wear them, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Did you guys miss me? I definitely missed you. I cried all goddamn weekend. But luckily, I see all the usual suspects in the chat. I see Dirt Donkey. I see Free Tax. We're missing a couple others, but that's okay, you know. Fashionably late, as I like to say. Guys, welcome to Monday. Today's going to be a different show because we like to switch things up. It's like dating. We already established this is now the third third base, right? Our third date. So we're going steady, but still, I got to keep you on your toes. So we're switching things up a little bit today. And guess what? It's Monday. And I have inserted myself in a masculinity man sandwich this Monday, baby. We're going Austin Powers. Yeah, you're an animal, baby. Yeah, we're bringing it all out on this Monday because we know like Mondays are a drag. And I say, let's spice it up. So we have two men entering the chat. That's right. I'm going to be like, right. I don't know. Like, am I going to be motorboating that or the other way around? It's like a sandwich with these two men. Like I said, I'm in the middle and I can't wait. They are conservative influencers. And I feel like they will float your boat. One is alpha male of the Alpha Warrior Show on Badlands. And we also have Kevin Smith, who is backstage right now. Kevin, if you hear me, I want to see a thumbs up. I want to see a little, oh, there's a thumbs up. Yes, he is the founder of the Loud Majority. And we got a lot to discuss today, everybody, because the VMAs were last night. And I know you're probably thinking, Taylor, do I give two single shits on this Monday? Probably not. But here's why you actually should. Because whether you like it or not, guys, these things really are. I mean, even though the viewership is just kind of like riding off into the sunset off of the cliff of the abyss, like in this sad romance erotica novel, they still do capture the cultural zeitgeist. And today specifically, I'm going to be talking to these guys about the women, the female artists putting their sexuality on display, how these guys feel about that. And I am excited to have these guys because I feel like they capture, like they're not unhinged, like far right. I feel like they capture kind of like the every guy common sense thinking. So I want to see what they think about that. But we are also going to talk about political statements in entertainment, in media, gone too far. I actually have Alpha texting me right now, and I'm going to just put him on blast. He is saying, you guys know how we roll here at GNN? Well, we got nothing to hide. You know, just like I'm not hiding these today. I decided to put a bra on for you guys today, like for the first time since 2022. So it's all out literally on the table. We got nothing to hide. So Alpha said it won't accept my camera doing a restart. Alpha, you're on notice, baby. All right, but that's okay because we got a little intro here. Dirt Donkey, Taylor will rule the internet. Thank you, Dirt Donkey, only with your help and everyone else. Spice it up. Yeah, we are. That's what we're doing today. So while Alpha gets his stuff together, you know, I thought the women were supposed to be fashionably late. Alpha, I'm going to take it up with you, buddy, once you join. But let me set the stage that is the VMAs. All right. So I actually used to cover the VMAs as a red carpet reporter. And you know what? I can't actually confirm that I cared any more about them back then, actually being at them. Like, truly. I was that bitch that was like, okay, when is the after party? Where are the sliders? Where are the food trucks? Where's the champagne? I couldn't be bothered with any of this shite, right? And I did watch them though last night because I was like, I want to see what the kids are at. I want to see what everyone's talking about. And am I old? Because I don't know who half the people are. And there was this kind of like rock star guy who I could have sworn was Sebastian Stan as Tommy Lee. I was like, okay, am I fucking geriatric? Here, hold on, hang on. Here's Kevin. It's not accepting my headphones either, but I'll make do. Kevin. We are going to make this work, baby. I will mime to you in this chat if we have to, okay? Kevin, are you smoking a cigarette backstage? What is happening? If so, he said no. If so, I dig it. I dig it. You know, we're going rock star. Actually, that's kind of the point of this is rock stars aren't even rock stars anymore. They're all suddenly political activists and like, sweetheart, nobody fucking asked. So cut to this VMAs. And I just feel like kind of the theme of today's episode, it's like, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. And I was sort of watching it going, it's kind of a fun game for me going, what will trigger conservatives? Like, what will trigger the right? You know, like you have someone on the carpet totally dressed in this, like it's a guy, but he's dressed in these huge platforms, almost like a Victorian era pirate hooker and drag. I don't even know. It was like, okay, that's the first thing. Then you have Tate McRae, who's almost like a modern Britney. And I really like Tate McRae, but even her whole thing, I was like, remember Wedding Crashers, the nude gay art show? It was a nude gay art show. I was like, what is happening? Like, girl, I could definitely appreciate a good package, but like, what is with the Cabana Boys and Speedos on display for your performance here? So I was like, that's the other thing that'll set them off. But then there was Sabrina Carpenter's performance of Tears. And those of you who watched my inaugural premiere ep last Thursday here on GNN know that Sabrina, she's my girl. She is my girl for sure. And I love what she's done in flipping power dynamics on their head. And as I said, really capturing this love-hate relationship with men and probably that men have for us women as well. That's like 1 minute, it's like you are, she kind of captures like how retarded men have become. She's like, I'm wet just at the thought of you doing the most basic things like communicating, putting together furniture, you know, respecting me, etc. And then, you know, talks about breakups. And then at the same time, is like, I'm so horny for men and they're hot, right? It kind of like captures it all. And that's what I loved about Tears. It's not like Tears, I'm sad. It's Tears, like all these things make me hot and horny for you. Well, Sabrina decided to take it upon herself to make a whole trans statement last night at the VMAs with her performance of Tears. And I am so not an anti-trans person. And this is, again, I always say the right makes me look like, oh, look who decided to join us. Alpha, I'm not bringing you on until you prep those biceps, baby. I want to see some, yeah, that's exactly right. You get those veins popping and then you'll come into the chat, okay? So she decides to make her whole thing, this big statement with all of these drag queens, and they're holding protest signs like protect trans lives and trans we trust. And my whole thing is like, why? Again, I'm so not anti-trans, but it's like you already had a good thing going. You already had a good thing going, making a statement about Tears, what it represents, men and masculinity, and how hot it is when men are actually men. So you already had it right there. And then I even loved her music video because the music video for Tears reinvented and recreated Rocky Horror Picture Show. It had Coleman Domingo, who's a big gay Black actor in drag, but it was really fun. It was just fun. And funny enough, I was going to write a Substack about this. Like, can we just appreciate it? Again, it's not trying too hard. It's just, they just did it. Like, they're just cool. I loved the whole Rocky Horror thing. And the drag and the theater of it. It was, and she's hot. She's like on a stripper pole, the whole thing. And just seeing Coleman Domingo like in drag, lip syncing to her about getting wet to, you know, men being responsible and hot. Like the whole thing was great. And then she had to make her VMAs performance a whole trans protest. I'm like, lady, you already had it. Like you already had us. Why go this extra? So without further ado, you know, now these men backstage, now you know what it's like for us men to hold out a little bit, you know? And actually, no, what am I talking about? You guys are actually like, you're used to us making you wait, aren't I? So I guess I'm just giving you a daily dose of your regular lives. Okay, without further ado, this is my first time, by the way, doing this as like the IT person on set. So here we go. Alpha male. Oh, there he is, Kevin Smith. Hey, guys.
What up?
Welcome to the chat. I mean, Alpha. Nothing like being fashionably late, I guess, making you girl wait.
You know how to make an entrance.
I guess so. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming. I think I'm not coming like that just yet. I mean, I'm excited to have you. I'm not that excited just yet, but welcome. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's absolutely going to be fun.
It really is, and the only thing is, I kind of led the people on into thinking I was going to be in the middle of you in this male sandwich. So the logistics are kind of cock blocking that situation. You know, and I even said, like, is it a motorboating when I was in the alpha in the male sandwich with me in the middle? Is it like is it me motorboating you guys the other way? I don't really know.
Well, look, as long as I'm not in the middle, I'm all right. So, you know.
Well, guys, I feel like I said this in my intro, which Alpha, I don't know if a little birdie told you while you were doing whatever it is with your computer, but I feel like you guys, you're both conservative influencers. You have big followings. You're committed to the cause, but I do feel like both of you can sort of, you're not totally extreme and you can see middle ground, kind of common sense, and call out even when, you know, conservatives go a little too hard on things, especially around like women stuff. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I feeling the temp correctly?
I like to think so.
I try. You know what it is that, and this is most of the conservative influencer movement, they're problems based. And when you're problems based, all you do is complain about things. If you're solutions based, it's not like, you know, there's a lot of people can yell about a million things. They can yell about Epstein lists and they can yell about voting machines and they can yell about this. I'm about results and getting things done. And if you find yourself just complaining all the time, it's because you're focused on problems and not focused on solutions. So like, men aren't men anymore. All right, cool. So let's make them men. Mm-hmm. Let's make women women again. And I think that a lot of people have made careers complaining about it, but with no real solutions or no real objectives on how to fix the problem.
Name a name, Kevin. Drop a name. Hold
on. Let me turn my mic off. No, but you know,
name a name.
It's, you know, look, there's a lot of them out there, and it's not uncommon in politics. You don't grow when you're winning. You grow when you've lost. You know, Fox wouldn't have been Fox without complaining about Obama for 8 years, and CNN and MSNBC would be dead without bashing Trump for the last decade. So, you know, and a lot of conservative names got made in the 4 years of Biden. And now we're seeing the people that actually do shit come down to the people who actually do shit are rising to the top, and the people who complain and have no solutions are falling off the map. So,
and to add a little sugar to what Kevin's saying, and he's absolutely correct. It's way easier to point out the problems of things, or because it's people's emotions. Oh, I agree. Yeah. And you know, a lot of people are sheep. They want to go where there's an agreement. Where if you propose solutions, a lot of times people aren't ready for the route to go, the path to go. People want to complain, and then they want a resolution that requires no sacrifice or no pain.
Exactly. It's like, okay, Debbie on Facebook in a cul-de-sac. Let's actually see you do something instead of ranting at whatever time it is. Also, I like you sprinkling a little sugar. It's like you're my neighbor in an Outkast song. You know what I mean? But I feel like, yeah, exactly. The obligatory bicep, which by the way, I didn't even ask him to do. He just offered it up and volunteered. So, not playing hard to get.
Private. No, but he's right. You know, it's easy to form a knitting circle and talk about everything that's wrong.
Well,
It's hard to fix it.
with that said, guys, I really do want to get in the male psyche because I feel like you're both very opinionated, but I do feel like you kind of capture the every guy. And this is sort of my way. I mean, again, on the surface, it could seem like we're talking about entertainment fodder and, kind of light, silly stuff. But I've always advocated, even being in the machine that is Hollywood, so much male bashing comes from within. And even then I advocated for, let's bring guys into the fold versus just screaming into the abyss about one another. This is my sort of way of what you guys are talking about, right? And actually bringing each other into the conversation. So it's my little part in my little corner of the internet here on GNN and doing the part here. So with that said, before we get into my little setup here and what happened at the VMAs, I do want to know from both of you guys, because I did joke about watching things in entertainment pop culture, whether it's like devil stuff or whether it's women being sexy and hot, that will trigger conservatives. So what do you think are things that you can call out your own base and conservatives when they're a little too knee-jerky and just extra, where it's like, guys, there's no need, like chill? Alpha, I know you have thoughts.
I would say is, the holy art thou. It's one of those things where, yes, conservatism has a pretty distinct definition to it. But if you're looking at through the lens of politics, then that scope expands. And I think we push a lot of people out there as it has to be this way, and we can't do giving, and you got to give that. And people, they come after Trump when he does it. Is this, you're going to give a little bit because we're just different. We're just different. And I think the one thing that, on the right, so to speak, is we go too extreme one direction without wanting to find like the middle ground. It's like, we do got to find a little bit of a middle ground.
Kevin, what do you think?
Well, look, I mean, when it comes to entertainment, I think there is a section of the right that sees flames and thinks devil. Like, I don't think that, Usher, Let It Burn is like satanic worship. I think that it's a song that I had way too many Jaeger bombs to. But, there is a sort of new right that's out there. People like me who, were more populist than conservative. Like, look, when I saw, I don't know what her name is, because I did watch some of the VMAs, to be honest with you.
I saw you post about it.
Well, because all of the people I knew were getting Lifetime Achievement Awards. So, like, I didn't know any of the new songs. I didn't know that Asian chick, that one with Bruno Mars. I never heard of her. That one that had, like, the gay guys looking like a Greek sculpture. I didn't know. I'd never heard of her before. I've only heard of Ariana Grande because I have a niece, and that's it. But, like, I don't know who any of these people are. But, like, look, women are hot. Be hot. Like, I don't have an issue with the whole, like, sexualization and everything. And look, I know a lot of people do. They get mad about it. But, look, you go all the way back to time immemorial when music was being aired, whether it was, them not showing Elvis Presley's hips on TV because it was too sexualized. Now, do I think
that's so true.
Do I think that some of it is gratuitous, like that chick last night with the guys with the packages? Like, I think that was a little much.
The nude gay art show.
That was so look, that was so gay.
Wait, Kevin, but let me ask you, and eyes up here, Alpha, I'm watching you. I didn't bring Alpha on just to troll him, by the way, this entire episode, Kevin, just so you know. I did see you post that, and you said, so you're talking about Tate McRae, who, as I described, is kind of like a modern Britney, is actually a really good dancer, all this. But yes, she had this whole display of these dudes. And obviously, you guys know, just like you can appreciate hot women, I can appreciate a hot guy. But I was like, do I need these banana hammocks like swinging around like a Cabana Boy convention on my head
Also,
at the VMAs? It was so, but you posted, Kevin, going, if it's this much nudity, it must not be that good. So exactly. Is it her? Is it them? Like, what do you guys think about that as dudes? Like, when you see it at face value, what's your reaction?
Well, look, just from the pure sense of music, if you have to have 17 people naked on stage, how good is your music? I mean, look at Prince at the Super Bowl, right? Now, Prince never shied away from sexuality, but Prince's halftime show was one of the best of all time. Everyone was pretty much clothed because Prince is an absolute legend. And it's like, if the sex is the most important thing in your routine, it makes everything else secondary and third. And I think that, if you take Madonna back in the day or Britney, like, yeah, they were sexualized, but it was good music. And I feel like the sex came second to the music.
It did.
And,
Paula Abdul,
Paula Abdul,
listen, phenomenal, hot, gorgeous. And listen, she was known for showing some booty and some cleavage, but it didn't overshadow her music. It was supplementing it. And now it seems like it's more on let's show the skin because the lyrics and the music kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. And that's where the issue is. But here's the thing, conservatives do freak out when they see too much boobs. And it's just like, chill out.
Well, I think that also there was that trend for like 3 weeks there where all those sorority girls were like doing dances at colleges, and you saw like the moralizing Republicans freak out about it. And I'm like, no, it turns out it's hot 20-year-olds at a sorority house having fun. Like, if we on the right want to retain voters, like I said, problem versus solution. Republicans for the longest time couldn't get young voters. Now we're finally getting them. And it seems like the Mike Pences of the world, the people who like only have sex missionary in the dark in silence for procreation, like the fucking dad from Footloose. Like,
I'm crying. It's a whole ritual.
Every time I see Mike Pence, I think of the dad from Footloose. It's like, you can't be dancing. That will lead to ungodly thoughts. Like, and I'm like, bro, no wonder. I remember growing up in my 20s, listening to guys like Rush and Bill O'Reilly tell me that Eminem and Marilyn Manson caused Columbine and Grand Theft Auto and violence in movies. And I remember sitting there being like, I listened to all of that and watch all of that and play all of that, and I'm not going to shoot up my school. And I remember growing up being like, there's nothing I want less than to be like those guys. Tight ass, boring. Like, I wouldn't want to hang out with them. But now you have like people like myself, people like Alpha, plenty of our friends who like, yo, there is a video of me out there recently, probably too drunk. And it's like, when it comes out, I'm just going to go, yeah, it's a great night. It was an open bar. Like, not everyone wants to live like Ben Shapiro. And that's okay. If that's your life, look, if that's the way you want to live, then like,
yeah. Well, this is what I'm getting at. It's like the pulse of what, like the underlying culture and what ticks and what makes people tick. And I feel like it's definitely among conservatives and liberals are a mess too, right? But it's fractured. And you have the Mike Pence doing like, a ritual, like I don't want to say Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you guys have watched it. Not the sex slave part, but just how it's a whole ritual, whatever. But then on the other side, I feel like what you guys are kind of capturing, this may be whatever hot take, but it's sort of like the Donald Trump thing of how not necessarily womanizer, but like, very hot take, but like has that kind of swag. Here's what I mean. Who again can appreciate and work their way with women, right? So I actually saw this clip last night of when Trump was on the Wendy Williams show. And this is when he's like top of his game, like Donald, like she's like, oh, Donald, right before he was so politicized. And she brings up this like middle-aged Black woman in the audience for Trump to give marital advice to. And the girl's like, and she's totally average looking. And Trump is giving her advice. And he's totally like, has that swag of like, I could tell though, you got it going on. You won't have a hard time finding a guy, that kind of thing. And I was like, look at him like using, right? It's like that kind of thing. And that's where I think what you guys are getting at, where it's like, it's okay. It's okay to like work the ladies and appreciate both respecting women, but it's like, it's cool. We don't have to be this, like Kevin, as you put it, like only in the holy matrimony of marriage. It's like, it's okay. We can appreciate hot women and hit on them and work them and have fun with it. Like, it's okay.
And it's crazy what conservatives will do. And Mike Pence is such a perfect example, Kevin, because they want that. They want that template, that cookie cutter, because it makes them feel good, right? But then, Pete Hegseth has a tattoo on his chest and he takes his shirt off and, he likes to flirt with the ladies. And I'm like, I don't care. Look what the guy's doing with the Department of Defense. That's what I care about.
Yeah.
If the dude wants to go to the bar and slap some booties and pass out beers, that doesn't bother me.
So I would actually say it's the marriage of the two, right? It's the fact that like he's not a robot like a Mike Pence. He can be a dude who likes women and has his tattoos and then crush it in his role too. Like it's kind of the marriage of those things. And what I don't know if you guys feel a certain way about this or even witness this, but the Sydney Sweeney thing, well, I mean, I wrote a whole Substack about it. I was like, this is conservative amnesia at its finest, because I have quotes of conservative commentators. I'm talking Michael Knowles. I'm talking Liz Wheeler's, Candace, all of them, Megyn Kelly's, being like, oh, you talk about Alpha, how they see tits and they just like implode like the Wicked Witch, like they just like melt and there's no recovering, and they're like, oh, it's immoral, it's objectifying herself. Then the American Eagle ad comes out, and because it's like anti-woke, conservatives hate woke people so much, they're willing to literally ride this dick of American Eagle so hard. I'm like, where were you 5 months ago when you were shitting on Sydney Sweeney? What are we talking about? So that's where, and I've had hardcore MAGA friends be like, but literally, yes, you're exactly right. Like that's what's so flip floppy.
Well, I think it also is, in the age of the internet, people don't want to be viewed as an e-girl. Like they don't want to be viewed as somebody that like is just hot and that's all they're known for. I think people try to stay away. Either you go that full bore where you have 600,000 followers because you have great tits, or you're afraid of being objectified. And I think that, look, Michael Knowles is a brilliant guy. He's a Catholic scholar. And if I was going to if I was hitting my Bible and I needed to figure out a verse, I would absolutely look to Michael Knowles. But he's another one that, like, bro, your sex life seems to work for you. I don't want that. Like, and it's also like you said about Pete Hegseth. Like, yeah, when he wasn't the Secretary of Defense, he liked to drink like everyone else. And all those people out there that are moralizing, every one of them has got some photo of them with their face glued to a stripper's ass in like Atlantic City from 2009 that they're praying doesn't come out. Meanwhile, I'm out here like, go find it, man. I didn't get any pictures that night. Like, be
but
real.
It's up here. No, it lives in here.
Like, to be honest with you, like, I think we all know what is normal behavior and what is unacceptable behavior. And there's no rubric. There's no checklist. There's no, like, you could just mark it off. It's, were you a guy in your 20s? Okay. That's okay. And it's okay to be regular like that. And I think that the moralizing is what's going to lose us this momentum of particularly college-age men who have never voted Republican before, ever, until this year.
Right.
You know?
Well, Alpha, what do you think? Because, again, you guys are both solutions-based. So what do you think in terms of all this and restoring some sort of normalcy? Because you guys are exactly right. There's been just a wave of young conservative men now coming out of the woodwork. But if the Mike Pence shit continues, they're going to be like, what is this? So how do you, what do you think has to happen? Are these people in power actually going to be more real? I mean, the odd thing is, and the irony is, Trump is he's like the messiah to them. And he is the epitome of this, of like being like, fuck it, I don't care. And yet they won't do it and they act so robotic. So will they actually become more honest about all this? Like what it is to be a guy actually appreciating hot women, or is that just never going to happen?
Well, Trump has already shattered the myth that you have to be the textbook politician in order to get into the most powerful office that exists on earth, with locker room conversations, with photos of him out there at the parties and the clubs. So he's showing, listen, you could have lived this lifestyle and still get here. Now it's incumbent of, guys like me and Kevin to show at the surface. Listen, I'm going to do a podcast where I have a bunch of hot women on. And we're
I'm
going to
not
talk about
invited. I'm
stuff.
gonna be pissed.
Oh,
I
you'll
know.
definitely be you'll be center on that one.
He's like, you'll be the
Well,
what's it called?
you
The
know what? For that one,
understudy?
I identify as a hot woman. I'd like to be there for that.
You're gonna be my camera guy because I know you'll know exactly where to put the camera.
Oh, time out a minute. I ain't holding no damn camera. I'm not sitting in the cuck seat in the damn hotel.
Not the Cogsy.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story.
But you're totally right.
But to that point, it's people. The men have to start showing. You have to be men publicly. It's no longer, hey, I'm just a man when I'm my guys in the garage or at the casino or at the bar. Men have to be in the public atmosphere, whether it's at a political event, whether it's on a podcast, and act like men and talk like men. Because then these younger guys that are coming out of the college are going to see that and they're going to be like, hey, these guys are conservatives. These guys are Republicans. Hey, these guys are MAGA. They voted for Trump. I can resonate with these. I can party with these guys. I can hang out. I could drink a beer with these guys.
That's right.
It shows that, hey, there's people in this movement I could have a rapport with, but they got to see it. And that's why the ones of us that are there, you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm a man, just as long as no one else sees. That day has to be over.
It's like just being real all around. People are so over the fake and so just sniff it out.
That's exactly what it is. We live in the age of authenticity. You know, be who you're going to be. And look, I want to be clear. It's about responsibility too. It's about letting men know that you could go out, you drink, you could do this, you could mess around. But when push comes to shove, you got responsibilities. You got to step up. There was a time that men effed around, and if they found out, they did the right thing. They, you know, they settled down. They raised their kid. They didn't have baby mamas, because it turns out when you mess around, there's consequences. And you know what? I would urge men that don't put it anywhere that you don't want to put it for the next at least 20 years. Like that's what I would say.
I like the ball, by the way. Is the ball true to size? Like on the packet, you know, it'll be like actual size.
Yeah, this is an official. This is an official baseball from when I played. Semi-pro ball. If you look at that, for all the baseball fans out there, that is not pine tar. I was not scuffing the ball at all, even though you could definitely see I was putting some shit on it. But you know, it's different. You know, like responsibility. I cheated in baseball and I put pine tar on it. If I got caught, I would have gotten thrown out. But I was good.
Baseball gate.
I saw the baseball and I was waiting for Karen to run on his camera and be like, "Give me that ball."
You know what though? You know what's so funny about that Philly thing? And I was talking to somebody about it the other day. The Phillies Karen. That is such a microcosm of our American polity right now. Like, angry lesbian feels like she's owed something. So she runs over to normal human, and the normal human goes, "Whatever you want, just stop yelling at me."
You know what?
And that is how we got here. When 20 years ago, first off, anyone who's been to a baseball game knows a home run ball, I've seen people get knocked out, bit, beers on them. Like, the bottom of a pile for a home run ball is the worst place on earth.
But you know what? Just to interrupt, and if you guys don't know the story, look it up. But you're exactly right. This is so indicative of any type of minority feeling like they're owed something. And I feel like true, like, lesbians, even the old school gays, hell, even the old school trans, it's like, you're like, I'm living my life. Like, you are all actually missing out. This is like the fun side. This is like the party over here. I always say, I'm like, what we're witnessing now, they have to be like rolling in their graves. Like, we did not ask for this. We did not ask for, like, they were just more liberated and fun. Whereas now it's exactly what you're describing, which actually kind of perfectly, before I let you guys go, perfectly kind of gets me back to last night. And I love what you said, Kevin, about, I had this exact same thought. People and women or performers making a statement back then, even if it was like Britney with the snake, right? Or Madonna with the like a virgin, it's sort of like they just did it. They just did it. And it's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I am not owed shit. Actually, you're missing out and I'm living my life. We're having a great time over here and I'm free as a bird, right? Versus now, and even like I said, even like shit, like I said earlier, like Rocky Horror Picture. It wasn't a cult hit at the time, but ultimately it became one. And it was exactly that. It wasn't like trans and drag. We just saw it and it just did it. And it was fucking awesome. Cut to now, again, we have Sabrina Carpenter, who's my girl. And I don't know if you guys saw this. And like I described in the intro, where she does a performance at the VMAs where they're literally all in drag and protest with protest signs like in trans we trust, protect trans lives, towards full-blown political activism. So what are your, again, thoughts of, especially when it pertains to women and female performers, again, when it's just like hot, that makes a statement, I dig it, versus now it's just like you're and should it be political activism? Even Kendrick Lamar has been political, Kanye. Like, where do you guys just, bird's eye view see it all? When does it go too far?
They forgot listen, people didn't become your fans because they want to know who you voted for. Your entertainment. That's what you are, entertainment. That's why people go to see you. It's your breakaway. It's like football. When you went to a football game 15 years ago, you didn't know if the guy next to you was Republican, communist, or whatever. Was he wearing your jersey or the opposing jersey? And that's all that mattered. And everybody had fun. It was a breakaway from everything that you have to see in the world. And when you bring that politics into the entertainment world, it destroys everything for everybody. It literally becomes, well, this is no longer any fun. Can I go to this concert? Well, what's their position on, getting a jab or not getting a jab? And that's not the place for it. One is, listen, you can't even really associate with most of the people that are your fans, let alone try to say, hey, life is hard. And I have this political belief because of this, because like you make $20 million a year. You have no clue what your vote is. If you make the wrong vote, you're not going to feel the consequence of it. They need to stick to entertainment, not politics.
Well, what it is that Taylor Swift doesn't want, or Sabrina Carpenter, actually I had to Google who Sabrina Carpenter was because I'm old, but she doesn't want to hear me talk about how I think if she sang in this key, it might be a little bit better than what she's singing in now, because it turns out I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So if Sabrina Carpenter wants to come to me about immigration policy and its effect on Viennese economics, I think I'm going to tell her to get out of here, because, like, I say this about the old ones. Bruce Springsteen, big Democrat. I want to go up to Bruce and go, Bruce, every guy in your song voted for Trump. The guy who is on the wrong side of the railroad tracks because the factory that he worked in got shipped overseas, and the guy at the bar who used to play ball but threw out his elbow, and now he's reminiscing about the glory days. All those guys voted for Trump. Every one of them, except the guy whose guitar player was in The Sopranos. Like, to me, it's like you're not regular. You're not regular. And like you said about it being forced. Madonna and Britney just did it.
That's it right there. Yeah, that part. It's like, part.
I don't care. Have a gay movie. Like, that's great. I don't like Harvey, like Milk with Sean Penn. Great movie about Harvey Milk or Philadelphia. Won Best Picture. Great film. But like when I'm watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, and for some reason they make Joey Fatone gay for no reason. First off, let's be clear. Joey Fatone's been gay. He's been gay since like 98.
Lance Basu, no.
For no reason. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Like,
yeah,
it's forced.
Kevin, it's you. That's exactly verbatim what I said about the Sabrina Carpenter performance last night. It's like there's a difference between just, again, being cool. We see it. It's like that's the flex versus beating us over the head with it, or even doing it like if we're talking movies, actually being funny. Like you talked about Milk, which is a drama, but even like The Birdcage, right, with Robin Williams and brilliant, and Nathan Lane,
favorite movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they just did it. But I am curious for you guys. Again, I'm getting into the male brain here, the male gaze. What is, I mean, there were so many right? Madonna, Britney, even the Janet Jackson. Like, is there a thing as to like what's just hot? Name for me an example that's just hot and iconic versus what is too far and in your mind is no longer hot. I'm not judging it. I'm just curious. Like example, Cardi B on the stripper pole at the Grammys. Like what to you, give me an example of each.
I'll give you two. Well, Showgirls and was it Wild Things?
Oh, okay. Oh, the lesbian kiss. Yeah. There's male gaze, everybody. Mic drop on the male gaze.
Hold on.
It wasn't overdone. It wasn't overdone. You had about 40 seconds
so true
of like a hot scene, and poof, you were good. You're right back into the movie. That's it. It wasn't like the movie started with that and it finished with it. It gave you clips of this intense moment, and you were like, "Damn, that was hot," and you moved on. It wasn't like you said, beating you over it and are you getting the message? We're gonna give you 20 more minutes of it to make sure you got the message.
Let me put my actual labia on your head. And so here's my pap smear, everybody, for my last report. It's like, no, exactly.
No, you're so right. And I think it goes back to what I said before about whether or not it is the main point or it is secondary. So like Cruel Intentions had a great plot. It is one of the most sexualized movies I've ever seen that doesn't actually have any sex in it.
So
but
hot.
like it's so hot, but it's got a great storyline to it. So it's secondary to it. If you're gonna have a movie that is all sex, like that's okay. It's called porn. Just like do it. Like, and if anyone's ever like listened to the script in a porno, it's not gonna win, it's not gonna win best original screenplay. But like it's
the pizza delivery man or the landlord.
It's got to be natural, and it's got to be real.
Well, I think what you guys are getting at is also like the tease, and you guys know me. I'm my whole thing is tits out, brain out. Like I'm all for women owning their sexuality and their femininity, but I love even in that regard, it is like, what is the line of bashing us over the head with it? And here's another, unpopular take. But that's why I even gave Sydney Sweeney a hard time for all of her marketing stuff, be it American Eagle or selling her bath water with Dr. Squatch, because I was like, all right, I'm all for this. It's not the using of her sexuality. We can all agree she's objectively fucking hot. But I was like, girl, do I need, like literally in the script, it's like, we all know guys want one thing. Look up here. Like, it's just, I was like, that to me felt like crossing the line of like bashing it over the head. I was like, we get it. We see it. It's a flex. We see you're hot. Like, do I need to be like, do I need to see you be like, I have really good genes? I mean, my eyes, like, it just, I don't know. That to me felt, I don't know if you guys disagree, but that to me felt like what we're describing of like, okay.
Well, the Sydney Sweeney ad, I think it's different than because look, hot people sell clothes. It's no different than who was it back I think it was in the 80s. It was a Calvin Klein commercial. Brooke Shields, nothing gets between me and my Calvins.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like, oh, I'd like to get between you and your Calvins
I love that
as soon as possible. But like, even the Sydney Sweeney thing, I feel like the commercial selling a product is a little different than I think being in a film or being in like music like that. If the sex is not the statement, I think it's okay. Like you said with this Sabrina Carpenter, I still don't know who she is. I've Googled her. I've tried to like pull up her music. I'm gonna have to text my niece. But like, she came out there with the decision to make a statement, and it's like, no, Britney was just hot. Like, if the sex or the protest is the number one goal of it, then the music, the acting, the ad is always going to be secondary. And humans can feel that, they get it. Like, here we go. Sex in the City, right? Which I've been forced to watch because men will watch anything women want. But like, it was a sexualized show, but it wasn't like,
right.
Taxi Cab Confessions. It was like, it was just part of it.
Right.
Entourage, the same thing.
I love Entourage. I guess that's where I thought even like, I don't even know if you guys saw this ad, but like even in the Dr. Squatch I'm sure you heard about Sydney Sweeney selling the bathwater, but it was like, big naturals. Like it's literally in the script and it's like, again, we see it. It's a flex. Do I need to know that guys all want big natural? We already know. And Alpha, I want you to jump in. However, because we women, we are complex and we are confusing. And by the way, I hope this is fun and different for you guys to talk about, just airing it out as guys of what you actually really think.
Love it.
So this does sound a little counterintuitive now as we end. And this, like I said, wraps up women perfectly because we are one big confusing enigma and contradictory. But I did see Sydney Sweeney get interviewed over the weekend for a new movie she's promoting. And the interviewer asked her, she's in a whole group with the cast, and the interviewer asked her, what is it about you, Sydney, that people just get so weird about? Like, what is it that you're so polarizing? And they all just bust out laughing. And she's just plays dumb. And she's like, I don't know. She says it 3 times. And I posted this to my Instagram and I was like, I just wish again, maybe it's counterintuitive to what we're saying, but I just wish she was like, you know what? Because I have big tits and people don't know what to do. Like, I just wish she was honest and owned it. And I feel like that would get her so much mileage. Cause again, like I can own right now, guys. I said at the top of the show, I'm wearing a bra for the first time for you guys, you know, just dressed to impress. They're taking over the microphone. They're out. Just own it. What do you guys think about that? Like, again, Kevin, it's what you're talking about. It's like the age of authenticity. I just feel like just fucking own it.
You know, it depends on the person, because personalities are going to kind of influence that too. When you've built yourself all around your great, phenomenal, beautiful tits, then just own that, you know? Now, if there's other things that you're known for, then yeah, maybe you can play it off and joke with it. But it's, you know, Sydney Sweeney, like, you have a great rack. That is what's getting everybody's attention. It's what American people want. Yes, it's there. So just say it. It's just like, well, if you're at, like, do you not have eyes? Can you not see? But I think it kind of is kind of based on the person. And to kind of just add something to the last part of the conversation we had, with everything going so far in these like sexual extremes, I don't really mind it either. And the reason being is we got to get that pendulum to have momentum to come the other way, because it's going to come to a balance. If we try to slow roll it, we'll be in the Mike Pence realm forever. So we do got to have some extremism just to kind of pull us out of the rut that we've been in.
I think that it's funny that she pretends she doesn't know. Like, there's like, you know, it's like a bully. You know, if you ignore the bully, they'll eventually just go away. So she's like, oh, I don't know. Why does everyone hate me? And that probably set off like really ugly women even worse. And like, because you know what it was? It just seemed to me that the people that were most upset about that ad were clearly upset because they aren't. Like, I didn't see one attractive person. I didn't see one person above a 4 get mad about that. And it's like we went through this whole phase where like Miss America was like a size 28. And like, you know, the body positivity movement. Look, I'm a big guy. I could lose some pounds. I know that. But when you have like these land whales that are like, I shouldn't have to buy 2 plane tickets. I'm like, no, you should. You take the 2 seats. Like, and I'm a big guy. So like, it just, I am happy to see the pendulum kind of swinging back, but I am worried that if we swing too far, we're going to get back into that moral purity test where like everybody freaks out. Like, come on, that one person watching this, do you want your sex life to be like Mitt Romney?
I mean, period.
One
Listen,
person, come on. And
raise your hand. Anybody.
Here's the thing. If you want to live like an abstinent life where, you know, you wait till marriage and you wait, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I think that like, if you're like me and really enjoyed your 20s, there's nothing wrong with that either. If you believe in like low tax rates and low immigration. And I think that's the difference between the populist movement you're seeing bubble up online,
that's right,
and the Fox News conservative bleh. You know,
well, guys, I love a happy ending here. I didn't think that we would take it this far at 48 minutes, but here we are. That's what we women do. You know, we just extend the stay. We keep you a little longer and, you know, do the cock tease in the beginning, the whole experience here. So it is, you know, a Monday experience for me. That is for sure. I don't want to speak for you guys, but it's so fun to get into your male brains. I welcome it anytime. And I would just like to end because I'm going to end the show right here. And I appreciate you guys staying a little bit longer than anticipated. But I think that what kind of captures all of this is a little bit of normalcy. It's okay. Like, again, to like to go to the bar and drink, to like hot women with tits, even like a hot woman on stage, it's okay. Like, you don't need to bring out a Drag Race or all these men in Speedos, again, doing the nude gay art show. I think kind of like those traditional, not the Ben Shapiro of it all or the Mike Pence, but the traditional men, women, the dynamics of it all, it's okay. And so I say chin chin to that, guys. Thank you for this male sandwich Monday here on GNN and the fun of it all in Alpha. I will be on call for your woman, even as the understudy for your woman panel you're putting together, whatever it is.
You're at the point on that 100%.
I only paid him a little bit for the spot. Guys, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you for the comments, for watching. Alpha, Kevin, keep doing your thing. And I will see you all tomorrow right here, 7 minutes in heaven at 7 p.m. ET and Alpha. Kevin, I got to see a bicep. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Come on.
You know what? When we get off camera, I'll show you something better.
Oh, hello. And he's not talking about his baseball.
No, it's my hidden tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. We're going
I'm
backstage
skipping around
right now. Guys, thank you so much. So fun. Thank you. Appreciate you. Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
Around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor.